Hello everyone, my name is Naomi. Welcome back to my channel. I know that we're all dealing with being on lockdown due to the coronavirus, and I just wanted to share a few things that I am doing to help pass the time while I'm on lockdown. So, one of the big things that I enjoy doing, and I've talked about this in the past, one of those things is journaling. Journaling is great because it is a way to document your life, how things are going. And in this situation, I think it is great to have a journal documenting life during this coronavirus pandemic. It's something that maybe 50, 100 years down the road, one of your relatives, descendants, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, may find it interesting to read your journal and see how life was during the pandemic and see how people got through and what people did to keep themselves sane during this time. So one of the things that I find to be very therapeutic and very relaxing and very essential is journaling. I am a big journaler. I love journaling. Another thing that I am doing is working on planning out my garden for the year. I buy my seeds from Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Catalog because then everything is heirloom, so I could potentially save seeds for the next year and not have to buy seeds again. I've only done that one year though. I did that with some green peppers. I saved the seeds and planted using my seeds from the year before, and that actually worked out great. But I'm going to I have plans to increase the amount of herbs that I grow. So I'm kind of got to map out and plan out how I'm going to do this because my garden space is very small. I can set up my flower beds to plant in, and I'm thinking maybe chives intermixed between some like pretty flowers and stuff would be really a great idea. I found some seeds for a flower, I think it's called an aster, and it's a purple like sunburst aster, so it's got white and purple flowers, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I saw it and thought, that's what I want. So I'm going to plant some asters, and I'm going to plant some herbs in between. But I have to be careful which herbs I plant because I know some of them, like mint, will completely take over your yard. So the mint is one that I will probably plant in pots in order to keep it from, well, it's an invasive species. That's what we call it. So I'm planning out my garden and how I'm going to try to increase the amount of food that I grow this year. And I've got books on gardening, and I'm going to study the best ways to do it. Because if you plant certain plants together, they complement each other and they grow better when paired with each other, if that makes sense. So I'm going to be studying that and working out all of that so that I can become a more skilled gardener. And I have time on my hands to read gardening books. I have time on my hands to map out my garden. I'm not going to just till it up and then plop the tomato plants in like I normally do. Usually I just have a row of tomato plants and a row of pepper plants and call it good. So I have all the plans, or I'm working on all the plans, and it just started raining. We're supposed to have thunderstorms, maybe tornadoes today. So that'll be fun. And I think my dog was just snoring. But now he's quiet. So those are, let's see, I talked about the journaling and I'm working on the gardening. Another thing that I do is I watch YouTube videos. I watch the news every night. Every stinking night. and that's not normally something I do. So I am spending more time watching TV than I ever have in my life, which is probably not healthy, but I do like to keep up on what's going on in the area. I know that our county has 4 cases of coronavirus, and I want to kind of keep an eye on that. So I do watch the news. Another thing that I do to pass the time is I read up a lot on health. I know I've mentioned in the past, I'm one of those people that suffers from autoimmune issues. So I've done a lot of reading I'm trying to figure out, someone like me, am I at higher risk? But from what I'm reading, someone who has a thyroid autoimmune disease, which I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, isn't necessarily at a higher risk of coronavirus than the normal person. Someone who, and I've actually found in my experience that I tend to be able to resist other illnesses and viruses that go around better than most. I get exposed to absolutely everything, and I almost never catch anything. I don't get strep. Strep was going around, influenza B, influenza A, all of that was going around, and I didn't get any of it. The things that I have issues with are allergies. Every year I suffer from allergies. I am taking an allergy pill every day. I pretty much live on Allegra all through the spring and the summer. So I don't really get sick, but I will if I don't take my allergy pill. I'll get a sore throat. I'm also reading articles that I found very interesting about blood types. I discovered that different blood types make you more susceptible to certain illnesses. And specifically, blood type O is resistant to respiratory illnesses. Don't get me wrong, if you spend your life smoking, you're still probably going to end up with COPD, emphysema, lung cancer, all of that. So I don't want anyone to ever think that they're immune to respiratory illnesses because of their blood type, but you're not going to get respiratory illnesses as easily as someone with another blood type if you're blood type O. You can still get them. But I found that interesting because in my household, I am an O positive. My son and my daughter are both B positive. My husband has no clue what his blood type is, but if our kids are B positive, my husband has to be B positive. So I am an O surrounded by Bs. And for some reason, all the time I've been with my husband, and ever since my daughter was born, I have always wondered why it is that my husband and my daughter, if they even get a hint of a cold, they have a horrible cough. They have respiratory issues as soon as they develop any type of sickness. They could just suffer from allergies and get a cough. They could, at the drop of a hat, they get a cough. My son, not so much. My son doesn't get sick much. He is more like me. But I've always thought it was interesting how my husband and my daughter get a cough every time they get sick. And that has made me wonder if maybe that whole blood type thing maybe has some truth to it, because of the fact that my husband and my kids are B positive. My husband and my daughter, they get respiratory illnesses at the drop of a hat. I'm O positive, and I almost never get any type of respiratory illness. It's very rare for me to ever get a virus or a bug or anything that causes me to have respiratory problems. So there is that. And I really did just get off track. talking about the whole blood type thing. I'm not sure if the blood type thing is accurate, but there are doctors who have studied it and they've written books about it and they swear by it. So it is possible that the blood type thing is accurate. And also there are diets. They say that different people with blood types are supposed to eat different diets based on your blood type, which I thought was a little bit crazy. But then I got to thinking about it, and the one thing that they recommend for blood type O is a paleo diet with nothing processed. Everything that you eat is fresh fruits and vegetables and meat. And I think there's eggs on paleo, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I did paleo quite a while ago. I want to say a couple of years ago, I tried paleo. And when I think through all the different diets I've tried over the years, I'd have to say that my body responded probably best to paleo. I think I was healthiest when I was on the paleo kick. Right now, my focus is mostly on eating clean. Almost everything I eat, I try to avoid things that come in packages, if that makes sense. For the most part. It's unavoidable to a certain extent, especially when my bulk section at Hy-Vee got shut down. But I wonder about the validity of the whole blood type thing, because when I think back over the years of all the different diets I tried, I felt best and I was healthiest when I was doing paleo for a while. And just like with anything that is restricted, it's more expensive to eat. Certain diets are more expensive than others, and paleo, the way that I was doing it at the time I was doing it, I was eating a lot of grass-fed beef and the free-range chicken. I was trying to only eat animals that were raised without the antibiotics and that were raised in a more natural habitat. Well, I also completely hate the animal agriculture. I think it is the worst thing ever. But when I was doing paleo, I was avoiding anything processed. I was living on fruits and vegetables. Everything I cooked was from fresh. And I did very, very, very well. I was super, super healthy at that time. So blood type might be actually a thing. And I totally got off topic. I was supposed to be talking about things that I find that to do during this pandemic. Okay, another thing that I do, let's just get back on track. I have subscriptions to magazines. I have Birds and Blooms. I have Country. I've got Mother Earth News. I've got, I don't even remember what I've got, but I've got a handful of different magazines that roll in, and having this time on my hands is great because I can read. I can read magazines. I can just relax, and I'm getting more rest. I'm definitely more rested. I'm starting to see the benefits of staying at home and not being part of that busy run lifestyle. I want a slower life. This lockdown is teaching me that what is healthiest for me and what is good for me is a slow life where we're not allowed to be on a steady run, where you have to be home, where you can't be out socializing. I feel more rested and healthier and happier with this lockdown, which is crazy. But I don't like a life of being on a steady run. I like my home time. I like time in the evenings to relax before bed so that when I go to bed, my body is ready to sleep. I have time to exercise. I have dumbbells. I have exercise videos. So on top of having time to do my meal planning and having time to focus on healthy choices, I'm having time to exercise. This is crazy. Like, I don't normally have time for all of this. I'm normally a little more stressed and on a steady run. And right now, this is the greatest thing ever for me because I'm at home, I'm meal planning, I'm relaxing, I'm going to bed at a decent time, I am waking up in the morning not as exhausted. So, there's all of that. Okay, but this video got too long, so I'm really sorry I went off on a tangent. I'm sure that there are a multitude of things that we can do, hobbies we can pick up on. Oh, and I'm crocheting a blanket. So there's that also. I have a variety of yarns sitting in a tote, and I was going to just donate them because I didn't have time for hobbies. And I was ready to take the whole big thing of yarn to Salvation Army. And then this lockdown happened and I thought, oh, hey, I guess I'm going to crochet. So let me know what you guys are doing to entertain yourselves. Tell me in the comments below. And it might give me some ideas for more things I can do. It might give other people ideas. So right now the focus is just on keeping busy and enjoying life and family dinners, and spend time with your family. Spend time with the people that you love. I mean, don't go out and have like big family reunions, obviously, common sense, but stay at home with your kids. Have family meals together. Do projects, play games. We have board games. That's something that we'd like to sit down this weekend and do is play some board games. Life is going to be so much better for your children and your families with you spending time with them. So enjoy it while it lasts, because this pandemic, it's gonna blow over and then life will resume to it might not be the same as it was, but it'll resume to a new normal, and we'll get back into the grind and we'll go back to our busy, hectic, crazy lives. But I hope that we hang on to some of this family time and this home time when this is all over. And I hope we realize that what's really important in this life is our family and the people that we love. So thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Stay safe and stay healthy.